I'm calling in the creator to the CEO who crave creating community and cash to create it like a boss. With me, Katrina Julia, as your host, multi-passionate entrepreneur, creator, and CEO who has walked from fear to faith, self-hate to love, corporate to calling, and continues to, with experience in 7+ industries, 7,000 plus creators and startups, to creators to Fortune 500 brands, including Google, NBC, Victoria's Secret, and more. If you are ready to create it like never before, in faith, wellness, wealth, marketing, business, travel, and more, this is the show for you. If this is your time to have freedom in all forms as you create it like a boss, let's create it. The Thai travels continue. Welcome to Krabi Best Things to Do in 2024. So, first things first, you guys, Krabi is close to the world famous Raleigh Beach. You can easily go to the awning public boats on either side of the awning beach and grab the world famous longtail boats for 100 baht each way, roughly $3, less than the price of a latte, to take you to an island for a day of luxury on a beach via the famous Thai longtail boats. You can see my day at the beach, my most beautiful beaches video on my YouTube channel at Limitless Global Girl to see for yourself. I ended up going to Krabi, or I stayed in Krabi for about 2 weeks. I ended up flying there actually via my stopover. So from Chiang Mai, I flew to Kuala Lumpur. I stayed about 48 hours in Kuala Lumpur, and I'll talk about that more on another episode. And then I flew from Kuala Lumpur to Krabi directly. I first stayed in some cute beach bungalows that I found via Agoda.com, within walking distance-ish from the awning beach, maybe about 20 minutes. And then I ended up changing to an Airbnb in the on the edge of Krabi, kind of about maybe 10 minutes from town, but it was super cute. Wonderful host, Willa Sini. And I had originally planned to stay there the full 2 weeks, but then it was booked for part of it. So then I booked the beach bungalows via Agoda, and they were I believe it was Palm Beach bungalows, and they were cute. They were maybe about 20-ish or more years old. So they were super cute, but you could tell a bit outdated. And I definitely wanted more of an apartment-ish home feel either way. But I did like being even closer walking distance. So that was great. And I spent, I want to say, about $35-ish a night on average in Krabi. And so back to the longtail boats, back to Raleigh Beach. So you can easily from the public pier take the longtail boats for about 100 baht. Now keep in mind, entering in the longtail boats themselves are an adventure. Like you enter in through the water mostly, like especially on Nang. There's no pier. Now there might be a pier from Naptara, so you might want to check that location depending on your health, depending on your ailments. But otherwise, you're entering through the water on these little stairs that are kind of like thrown on the side whenever we quote unquote dock. The same goes for when you arrive in Raleigh Beach, West Raleigh Beach. The first time I went, I stayed a couple hours there, shot some amazing content, which you'll see on the video and on my Instagram at Katrina Julia Fit. Then it's easy to walk through the Raleigh walking strip, and you can definitely grab some food there. There's pharmacies there, all kinds of things. And I walked across to East Raleigh Beach, which there's another pier there, and it is easy to get on and off on that side if you end up arriving or departing from there, especially if you stay in Raleigh. Then I was thinking about staying there, but then I didn't really find places that I really liked that felt like more like either spacey bungalow with a desk and different things. It was more like geared towards vacationers, not really, as a digital nomad. So I opted to stay in Anang. And then as you walk through East Raleigh, you keep going and you end up on the side of Phra Nang, or the Princess Cave. So you can see the Princess Cave there, beautiful limestone rocks everywhere, which you've typically likely seen on videos with Thailand. You'll definitely see on my YouTube videos with the beaches, with Raleigh Beach, with the Four Island Tour. And then keep walking across to Phra Nang Beach as well. So the first time I went, I spent a whole day and ate in between at the beachside restaurant on West Raleigh that you literally see the beach, maybe for about $3-4, if that. And then I went again another 2 times for sunset, and then I went another time that actually right before I was leaving Krabi. And I love in Thailand and a lot of places, especially around Krabi, how the tide shifts. And like one of my trips, I ended up literally walking across from West Raleigh Beach to Tanzi on the rocks, which I don't recommend because later, 2 days later, my back was definitely hurting. So obviously I shifted something in my hips or in my back. I ended up taking an incredible day trip via Get Your Guide that you can also find on my YouTube channel, with the Emerald Pool and hot springs that are close to Krabi. That was amazing. I booked it. Actually, no, you can book it through Get Your Guide, but this one I booked via Airbnb Experiences. Also, the Tiger Cave. And I was going to climb all the way to the top, but then like 400 plus steps in, and the steps are super steep and tall. I was like, you know what? I'm sure the view is great, but then it was also really cloudy. But I was like, I want to save my energy to where I still have a lot of energy the next day to work for and or go to the beach. And and I was in a dress and I was carrying a tripod, and like many people were turning around, and the people that went, like some of them were like, okay, I'm proud of myself for going, but honestly, like I could have skipped it. So that just confirmed for me not going all the way up to the top. So let me see in case I'm saying the name wrong. So Emerald Pool was amazing. The hot springs were absolutely amazing. And let's see. And the grounds themselves of the temple were amazing, but obviously I didn't see it from the top. Yeah, the Tiger Cave Temple is what it is. So just as a side note, those are just my 2 cents. Obviously, if you go, you'll decide on your own. For the island tour, besides the Raleigh Beach, I was researching several different ones, and I ended up choosing a 4 island tour on a luxury large longtail boat, and sunset dinner, and bioluminescence plankton. It was amazing. Palm, our guide, was absolutely incredible. It was via Get Your Guide, which you can definitely check out via my binge-worthy Thailand travel playlist at Limitless Global Girl on YouTube. And we ended up visiting, that's also when we visited Raleigh Beach and Phra Nang Cave. Then they pick you up, drop you off, everything. Then we ended up going. It was a group of about, I think, 7 or 8 of us, like a group from France and then 2 other ladies from Spain, which you'll see in the video. Then we ended up going to Chicken Island, and literally it's the top looks like the head of a chicken and the body looks like a chicken. So we took photos, videos there. We did attempt to go snorkeling, and I say attempt because April is also jellyfish season. And it was weird because in March I saw like none. And then on the subsequent trip, when I went with the 4 island tour, I saw a ton at Phra Nang Beach. But then when I went a couple of days later, right before leaving Krabi, I didn't see any. So obviously it's hit or miss. And then when I went on a day trip to Hong Island via the public boat. I'll talk about that in a minute. We saw at one point a ton of jellyfish like going, but then coming back like hundreds in the water. But then there was none at Hong Island. Like I think I saw maybe one at Hong Island actually none on one of the beaches, then none in the lagoon, clearly. And then on the other beach that's like in a little cave, maybe like 1 or 2. And then on the side, maybe like 7. So, just so you're aware around jellyfish season. And then back to the Fort Island, we went to Raleigh Beach and Frenning Cave, and then went to Chicken Island, took photos, videos, attempted to go snorkeling. I went for a bit, but there was at least 5 to 7 jellyfish swimming around me. So I ended up, and one of the girls got stung. So I stayed in the longest, but then ended up getting out. Then we went to Talawak Island, or Tup Island, which literally means separated sea in Thai. And that was one of my favorites. It's a tiny, tiny beach, super small, with like a little hut selling some snacks, some coconuts that I got. Going up, the water was amazing, no jellyfish whatsoever. Like literally, you guys, pictures, videos do not do it justice. And you could go there on a public boat on your own and spend the day there. So that's something like, if and when I return to Thailand, which I definitely may with friends or family, I would definitely do that again. And then we ended up after that on Poda Island, which was also beautiful and a lot larger, for maybe an hour or so ish. And then we had one of the best dinners I've ever had, you guys, on a tour ever, or even hands down. We had shrimp, we had pad thai, we had fruits, literally on the luxury longtail boat at sunset, like magical, magical, magical. And the whole tour, I want to say, was like $45, including everything, like everything. Snorkel equipment, everything. Highly, highly recommend with Get Your Guide and with Anda Sea Tours, which the exact tour I took is linked in the video that you can watch. Then, in doing my research, I realized and recognized I could take a tour to Hong Island with a group, but then I also found out I could simply take the public boat for about 500 baht round trip, which is roughly about $13-14 to and from Hong Island. All I had to do was simply show up at the same public boat piers, one of the two piers that are on Anang Beach, and simply wait for enough people to show up to go to Hong Island. And I ended up meeting a beautiful couple with an incredible story on meeting on a show segment that featured the young lady that donated bone marrow to this couple's son when he had cancer. She was in the military, and she ended up meeting the mother ended up meeting her second husband on that shoot because he was the cameraman. And that's the couple I met. I met the mom and the cameraman, and I'm not saying their names to also honor their privacy, but it's just a beautiful, beautiful couple. And I chatted with them, hung out with them a bit. I also met some young lady from China that was super nice, and her boyfriend or husband. Hong Island is indescribable, you guys. It's so beautiful, like so untouched. There's no hotels there. There's only a couple of huts that sell snacks and drinks. And I had an incredible tuna sandwich there, actually, just pure tuna and a coconut slushy, so to speak, for I want to say also like $3 or $4. There's a beautiful hike you can do through Hong Island, and an incredible viewpoints that you can take literally up. And the stairs there, in comparison to Tiger Cave, what I talked about for Krabi earlier, this one is incredible. Like, it's steel stairs, very, very, like, as long as you're fit, as long as you're like relatively like in, good health and can climb the stairs, they're very sturdy. There's handrails all the way up to the top, and the views are literally like amazing. You'll see them. Definitely check out my Hong Island video on my YouTube playlist. And then before leaving, I also ended up going back to, like I mentioned, Raleigh Beach for sunset and Franang. And then I opted to go to Phuket via a ferry. It was roughly $15, and it was such an adventure. Literally, the ferry stops you guys in the middle of the ocean to meet longtail boats from Phi Phi and other places. Speaking of Phi Phi, I opted to go to Phi Phi from Phuket because I'd already done so much from Krabi. And I saw that it was just as easy, if not easier, that a lot of the trips to Phi Phi offered transportation from Phuket. So that will be covered even more on the next episode, as well as on the top 10 things to do. So leave a review. Oh, one more thing on Phuket, which I can't believe I almost missed this. Oh my God. Oh, not Phuket. Sorry, Krabi. No. Sorry. I was looking at Phuket and I was confused that I was on the Phuket episode. I was going to start talking about that. So stay tuned for the Phuket best things to do and highlights of what I did, from Old Town to beaches to the best sunset spots and to Phi Phi, most beautiful islands, one of the most beautiful islands, definitely in Thailand, of 300 plus, and leave a review on the show so I can shout you out. And as always, remember, create, transform, and inspire, because you are born to. All the free chats on faith, wellness, money, marketing, business, and travel, so you create a life and business haven't already. Head on over to the blog, the podcast, and the freebies to jumpstart your transformation. If you're ready to dive into the online courses, the live events, or the retreat, and if you want to create with our community on an even deeper level, definitely check out our internships, our influencer collaborations, management, and brand engagement. Let's create it.